All right, here I am, Teacher Danny. About to get this show started. You can see me. I'm backstage. Actually, I'm not. I'm not out there. Let me give everybody something to listen to while they're waiting. Send out a couple more invites.
In the digital world where wonders grow, there's a hero we all know. Teacher Danny, wise and true.
I know how
Guiding
egotistical
through the
the song is,
metaverse, he'll
but
help
I
you.
love it.
Oh, it's the Teacher Danny Show, where learning's fun and knowledge flows. Safe and sound, he'll lead the way. In the metaverse, come learn today. With a click and a smile, he's on the scene, teaching us all what it really means to explore with care and to play it right. Danny's wisdom is our guiding light. Oh, it's the Teacher Danny Show, where learning's fun and knowledge flows. Safe and sound, he'll lead the way. In the metaverse, come learn today. With a click and a smile, he's on the scene, teaching us all what it really means to explore with care and to play it right. Danny's wisdom is our guiding light. Oh, it's the Teacher Danny Show.
All right, friends and family in the audience, friends and family watching at home, welcome to the Teacher Danny Show. You literally could be anywhere you wanted in the world. Because of the metaverse, you can create your own world. And you chose to spend however many minutes you do with me today. We got a real special treat. I got a great guest in the house. Pistolas 2029 is here. We're going to talk about the Horizon Choice Awards and, his entertainment company. And, just Horizon stuff, maybe even some of our collab stuff that we've been working on, trying to promote Horizon Worlds. Before I start the show, I just want to share everyone just a thought about the metaverse. I'm going to hold this the whole time. This is nice. I have a thought about the metaverse, right? Let me just tell you that when electricity was first being put in people's homes, a lot of people would not have it in their homes. They thought it was like bringing in demons or something. And, when there's so many technologies that people didn't realize how much of an impact there was unless they were involved in it. And because I get to be at the metaverse, I get to see this is kind of just like that. People are writing this off without giving it a real chance. And I'm just telling you, if you give it a real chance, you will see why this is going to be the future. Not even say you want it to be the future. I'm not even saying I want it to be the future. If we went back to 1985 technology, you know what? I'd be just fine. Was the Nintendo out? Yeah, as long as the day the NES came out, after that, I'm good. But the metaverse is going to be where it's going to be. It's like saying you don't like AI. Oh, I don't want to use AI. There's so many things about AI. Dude, I don't want to use AI either, but it's going to make a huge difference. So a lot of other people are going to use it and you're going to get left behind. And that's really why I make such a big deal of this. Not because I'm like, oh, you'll love the metaverse. It'll be your best friend. No, because you are coming to the metaverse. It's just a matter of when. So let's go ahead and end this diatribe. And I'm going to go ahead and interview my friend. Please welcome to the stage, Pistolas 2029. What's up, dude? Thanks for coming out. Thanks for coming out.
What's going on, man? Not a problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Good. Your mic is a little low.
Oh. Turn it up. That a little bit better?
Yeah. I think so. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm losing my hearing. So
I might be talking low too.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the show, man. I know you've been really busy. I know you got a lot going on. You and I are working on some projects. Oh, excuse me. First things first, I want to ask you about your entertainment company. Or
okay.
Is it called Pistolas Grand Entertainment?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. So why did you start Pistolas Grand Entertainment?
Oh boy. So I started Pistolas Grand Entertainment not immediately when I got in here, but it was probably a couple months into me getting in here,
A couple
which
months.
again was what, 4 years, 5 years ago. Um,
Okay.
so I'd started building, doing a couple things in here. I enjoyed that portion of it, and I was kind of getting a hang of that. But what I really liked was kind of traveling around and seeing what other people were building at that time too.
Yeah.
Again, it was very rudimentary back then, but there were a lot of people that grasped the idea of primitive shapes real quick and were building really amazing things. So I kind of jumped into doing my own little videos that I was editing at that time. And that's kind of how Pistolas Grand Entertainment sparked. I needed kind of like a little faux company to play off of as the entertainment company that was producing these videos. And then that's where that whole thing came from. And everything that I've actually done in Horizon World since then has kind of been through Pistolas Grand Entertainment. I haven't actually lost that, even though I've worked with a couple other people and I've been part of other groups and things like that in here. I've always kept that as part of the entertainment portion of it.
That's interesting. That sounds like a really organic way to do it. I would imagine, you know, a lot of times people start with the company and then go do the work. And it sounds like you just wanted to do the work, and then it came time. The company probably helps with the focus, huh?
Yeah, I mean, again, it kind of gave me a like something to build around almost in here.
Hmm.
And it gave me, like I said, I still have yet to LLC or anything like that to this date. May come at some point in time, but it, like you said, I guess gives you a center of focus, something like I said to build around, and to each thing that I was creating at that time was a portion of that, even if it wasn't necessarily editing videos or doing or producing videos. It was any of the builds that I was doing at that time, the boardwalk, the mirror maze, things like that, that were Pistolas Grand Entertainment being built by that. So,
Okay. So where do you see the future going for Pistolas Grand Entertainment?
well, again, I'm working with a lot of different people. I have worked with quite a few people over the last, I'll say, year. This year has been, well, last year I worked with a lot of people too, even on uh, Horizon Choice Awards. Again, I get to
Yeah.
work with 5, 6, 7 different people each year, basically. And I would
Yeah. A
say,
lot.
again, yeah, and again, we're getting ready to work on some social media things. Doing videos and stuff like that. So I see it, kind of still keeping pace with what I've been doing the last 4 or 5 years, building with people, trying to help the community with the HCA, um, and producing as much as I can as far as videos go and things of that nature and social media.
So you're you know, you got this consistency, you're doing this work, you're gaining your skills. Has anything changed? I mean, certainly some things have changed. It's been years and this is the metaverse. But yeah, what kind of stuff has changed for you? I know that like in here things have changed.
Yeah,
But
so
in
a
the way you
lot.
run
Yeah,
things or do things or build things, or what's
that's
changed?
definitely, yeah, a lot has changed over the last couple of months. It was again a real opportunity to come in here and build with other folks, collaborate on things. Um, I won't say that's completely gone because you can still collab and things like that, but
Yeah.
there's this a larger focus now on desktop editor, which is nice. Again, it gives you completely different features on that than what you would actually have in here building, anyways. But I do know a lot of people, like I said, liked building with their hands and like the way the mechanics and everything worked in here,
Yeah.
and that and pushing primitive shape worlds, things like that, that has come to an end, so there won't be any more updates or anything like that on those worlds. And that's really where I was, striving at that, was the primitive shapes. I used to love building primitive shapes, even though you don't get certain things out of it. I get that, that mesh can bring to the table. But it's a different drive and a different system now and a whole new focus. So again, I've slowed down a little bit just because the learning curve is on the other end of it and not necessarily in here, which again, I like that whole aspect too of me being in here building things that I can see while I'm building in here. So,
Yeah.
so it's a little bit different.
And video wise, I know we've even talked about putting our videos together and getting stuff. And we filmed other stuff, last year for the HCA. Let me just tell everyone, the millions and millions watching at home, the HCA, as you all know, is the Horizon Choice Awards. Last year was the first annual Horizon Choice Awards, and it was, all about Horizon worlds and Horizon creators. And people got to pick. People got to pick for themselves, and it was we're going to do it again this year. I was a participant. I was able to contribute, and that was a lot of fun. So
it's a great time.
What have we got to look forward to this year?
Again, 20 categories. We've already have roughly around 225 to 200, and I can't remember the last, about 225 people have already submitted worlds. If you haven't submitted your worlds yet, go and submit your worlds. Again, you can.
Is there a simple link to it? What is it?
There's a very simple link. It's actually, you can go to any of the Horizon Choice Awards groups on Facebook and or the page on Facebook. Page on Instagram actually has it as well. And it's just a simple link that you push, and then a Google document that you can go through and submit any world creator. You can submit yourself. You can submit a friend. Submit just a world that you just randomly like and you think it should be entered into one of the 20 categories. But yeah, no, same as we did last year. The community actually, has all the input. They put the worlds that they want in and or their creations. Again, there's a social media category as well, so they can put in their favorite social media figure that's in Horizon World. But they put them in, and then after all is said and done, they're the ones that are actually voting. The community votes on who is being pushed through to the finals and then who is actually winning the award itself. There are no judges. Nobody's judging. Again, we just have, management, I'll call it, to make things work and to make things operate and look good at the end. So
organizers. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It seems that part of winning the competition would also involve stuff besides what you built in there, like outreach, because if people see your world, then they can vote for it.
Exactly.
So I would say, just because you make something amazing, I mean, think about how much gold and diamonds are still buried in the dirt.
No,
so
that's very true.
So
get the word out. If you put your world in and you put a creation in, get the word out that you did and get some movement and some traffic. But we do have a hub. Once all the submissions go in, there will be a final hub for people to vote on the finalists. Basically, that hub will be open for 2 to 3 months, where people can go and see your worlds and your creations that you put in there in that category. So.
Okay. All right, great. You know what? I need to start posting that link. I need to start just putting that on my social media, and so people can just see it. Yeah. And
prepare yourselves. We got a couple more videos getting ready to pop out as well for the Choice Awards. So
and for the upcoming Choice Awards or for last year's?
For the upcoming Choice Awards. I know Louis working on a couple though for the Mr. Louis in VR, a couple for last year's awards as well. So he's cycling last year's winners, making sure that everybody gets a chance to see him again before this year.
Right. So out of the 20 categories, that means there's 20 winners. Well, I mean, and some people probably, it's not surprising if someone gets, more than one win, because if you're an amazing producer, it's likely to happen, especially if you got that marketing down.
Yep. Yeah, you got to get the word out too. Like you said a minute ago, get the word out on social media that you put your, world in a contest if you've got friends and things like that. And even if you don't, just put your world out there and then let people know that you've got something, to see.
Yeah. Now, it's interesting how if you want to promote something in the metaverse, you got to leave the metaverse to do it, which is fine. It makes sense. It's just that it's like that for a lot of things, but this is the metaverse. We could put it in here. We could have ways to communicate, and they don't really have those integrations yet. How I can meet people. I basically, like, if you wanted to meet people, well, fortunately I have enough friends that I just continuously meeting people anyway.
Right.
Because, my friends meet your friends and then they're become my friends. And when I say friends,
Have your
I don't
people
remember
call
your
my
birthday,
people.
dude, but you know.
That's all good. I remember most of my friends' birthdays, like in real life, so it's all gravy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, and that's like you were talking about that before you had me up here, but the community portion of it is really huge in here, even though, again, we're all in different states, different countries, things of that nature. Um, that's what makes it so cool in here is that like feeling of community, friendship, and or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Like actually being part of a group in here is almost as realistic as it can get as being part of something I'll say in real life, doing some type of community activity, things of
Absolutely.
that nature. So,
Yeah, you
it's
you've
a
literally willed it into existence. I hear people talk a lot about like, oh, if you just think about something, it'll happen. But you got to think
yep,
about it and then you do it. That's it. Like it's
yeah,
the vegetables and the water, like for soup. That was easy.
yeah,
So yeah, it's
no.
not just the manifestation. So great. Now I know. What are some of the struggles of running the HCA or working in the HCA,
Some of the
getting that
struggles
together?
is just trying to get as many ads out as we possibly can before
So again, a
I'll say
marketing thing,
yeah, before the end of, the submissions happen, we try and put out as much time as possible throughout the year. This year, I think it'll still be like probably end of October, maybe beginning of November. I think last year was October 11th, I think, or something like that. Um, but I would say again, all the timing portions of everything, getting everything lined up on time, and it always feels like you have a lot of time to do things, and then again, your year is done, and you're
right?
already, it's time to basically, do the show. And
Right.
that becomes, even more hectic the closer you get to showtime. But really cool, I mean, again, last year was really cool, really fun. It turned out really well. It looked cool, on video. I watched it a couple more times, it looks cool just to watch it back again. That's the feel, that we were going for. So again, we're trying to recreate that again this year with that feel of it being a real live, award ceremony. So hopefully we can pull it off again this year, which I think we will. But yeah, it's the time. It's always that that time sequence, and like I said, you feel like you have tons of it, and then all of a sudden it's oh,
Yeah.
semifinals, and then it's finals, and then well everybody's on vacation and doing stuff, and
Right. Right. Just getting people
so
together and
you know
all the other projects people want to work on in here.
yep, yep.
You
I
know.
think last year I was actually at Myrtle Beach when we had one of our meetings, and I was in a closet. I was on my headset in the
Fun.
closet.
Yeah. I was talking to someone, they were driving with their family and they had a hotspot on and they were driving in the car. They're like, I'm talking,
Yep, I've
and we were
seen
going to
that a
do like
couple times.
TypeScript on the computer. I was like, we'll do it next time.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening. So now last year's hub, the winners hub is still open, right? Yeah. And
Yes, it
it's
is.
cool. We
Yep.
got some NPCs. We figured out how to program some of these NPCs. So we have some that'll, I'll be in there. Pistolas will be in there. Louis, Diener, and yada yada are. It's kind of cool. You go in there. So the exact name is what, the HCA Winners
So
Hub.
that one, no NPCs in that one yet. The hub that has the NPCs is this year's 2025 Horizon Choice Awards main event.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's the one where you're in front of the trophy room and stuff like that. But you can access the hub that you're talking about, the 2024 Winners hub, through there. Or you can just go straight to the Winners Hub from last year, which I think is 2024 Horizon Choice Awards Winners Hub.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope I didn't give too much away about
Long title. Well, you can
what the
go.
main
No,
event's
you
gonna
can.
have.
No, you can definitely go and check out the main event. It's open. It's live right now. Go check that out. There's a couple doors in there to go through for last year's events, basically the red carpet. I think the actual event is in there possibly. I can't remember what we put in there. But yeah, that world is in there. That's the one that you actually announce. Go to the door right in front of me, basically. But you can also see all the winners there from last year
Hold
in
on,
the
let me
trophy room, which Teacher Danny is again introducing and standing in front of. So
Cool. Great. So now, okay, you're doing a lot of work in here. You're staying busy with all this stuff. Do you do the social stuff in Horizon?
a little bit, not as much as I used to. I used to do a
Hmm.
little bit more traveling around when I was doing more of the. It's funny when you're in here, you go through like cycles of different phases of doing certain things. When you're really in build mode and you're really focusing on building things, you don't really, I won't say you don't have a social life, but you don't really have much of a social life other than who you're building with. And sometimes you kind of can get out of that mode, but when you get in here, it's like you just automatically focus, go straight to build mode. Um, but then you go through that social mode when you get wore out of building.
Yeah.
And that's all you do is travel around. When I was doing a lot of editing and videos and things like that for people's worlds, I was going to a lot of worlds because I would go to like 5 or 6 worlds for them, compact them into a video, and then produce that and put that out.
Yeah.
Um, so I was going to different clubs, different game worlds, different worlds that are just like replicating real world aspect. Um, but yeah, I mean, again, I feel like you go through phases in here for sure. I don't know if I assume you go through the same thing, other than keeping track of your schedule with Teacher Danny show and stuff like that, like popping in and out of doing different stuff at different times. So
Well, sometimes at the same time.
yeah, that's true. Yep.
Now, one of the things I love about the headset is that when you have it on, you don't have all your other distractions, but there are ways to cheat. You tip your little headset up and you're looking at your phone or you're doing something on the
Yep.
computer or you're
Who
talking to
knows?
someone and they're like, oh, get on the computer. Let me share this with you. And because there's certain things you can and can't do.
Yep.
So it would be nice to stay focused on it. But yeah, there's definitely an opportunity for that when
Oh
using the
yeah,
headset.
yeah. Real world as well.
Yeah. Now, is there anything, what's like a feature in Horizon Worlds that would really help out builders, you think? Like if we
Oh
could talk
boy.
to Meta and be like, hey, man, can you guys make this?
Well, I mean, with it being more so geared towards, like I said, the desktop editor and focusing more on um, the mesh world, um, you I don't how do I say that? I won't say that you get less options, but as far as being able to, unless you build yourself a portfolio of materials,
Yeah.
um, in desktop editor, you don't have any materials in here to build with and or colors. I think just giving us a simple, like we used to have, just the simple color, bar that you could move around and get, simple colors. Maybe not
Hmm.
even textures necessarily, but simple colors to be able to colorize things as opposed to, or just give us the simple textures back too. I mean, I feel like
Right.
that was enough just to play with and very, you know, easy, I feel like, to put back in for that portion of it. It's
Yeah. It's
just
like you have to
harder,
like, you have to like
you got to bounce
code
back and
things.
forth. Yeah. And, or like I said, bring in, materials in here. Um, but yeah, I mean,
Okay.
that would be one of the features that I could think of that would definitely help build wise anyways. And again, I'm trying to think of like ones that do bounce, ones that you would have to bounce back and forth of, if you were like on the headset and you were building and you wanted a specific, you know, color or tone. But I guess again, once you build your portfolio in here, it's a different story. You've got everything that you typically would use. We've been using the same, what, 7 or 8 textures or whatever the heck it is that we've been given. And
Yeah.
that
For
was
our
good enough
walls.
for
Yeah.
me. So, I mean, I could
We,
probably
we, we
download.
somehow make it work.
Oh, we definitely do. No, I mean, there's plenty of people that use them in different ways too to make them work. You can put,
Yeah.
different things behind them just to make it look different. But yeah, no, I mean, that would be one that I could think of. I'm sure there's plenty of others that are out there that would definitely help. Um,
Yeah.
but again, I
Like,
don't know where it's going as far as what they're gearing up for, what they're gearing towards, whether it's going
I,
to be
I
you
don't
know
think they have an idea.
virtual
I don't,
still. I mean,
yeah.
I don't think that's going to go away really anytime soon. But who knows? I mean, that's another one of those things too, with it going towards mobile more so, and or like I said, desktop. People trying to play more so on desktop as opposed
I'm
to headset.
curious. I'm curious how much in the
Oh,
metaverse people were going to be like, how much, I wonder how much people will be on mobile. I understand people use mobile a lot, but the experience in here, like, okay, So people watching this
Yeah,
on a
yep.
YouTube video, it's a 2D, you're watching a 2D screen, either your phone or,
Mhm.
your thing at home. And at most, if you're watching this on your television, we're this big,
But the other thing
right?
that's wild
But
though too is what I don't think they're not getting either is they're seeing both of like our fronts. When you turn around to talk to them, I'm seeing the backside of his head and everything. Like he's a full 360 person in here. Well, again, I use that word loosely, but
yeah, yeah.
he's a
It's my
full
avatar.
360 person in here. And when he spins around, I can see him and walk around him. It makes the experience completely different than looking at it on a 2D screen because again, it just looks like another either video game or another
Yeah, because it seems
avatar
like
sequence.
in there, yeah, like what are you're already, what would be the experience like there? Okay, it might be fun, but is it fun? Like, because this isn't like, it's the immersiveness, like you said. It's not like because this place does anything particularly well. I guess this actually is particularly amazing, virtual reality and the metaverse and such.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
the graphics aren't great yet, and I wonder, who knows, maybe when they get good enough, the phone will be more fun.
progressively getting better though, like over again, this
As
has
soon as I
been
said that, I
in the,
thought about that. Yeah, the stuff you can
I mean,
import now, it's
5
beautiful.
years, again, we've gotten legs, our avatars have changed immensely, and they
Yeah.
changed a couple times prior to this, and they were still never really up to snuff. They look good, but they were never really there. And then, like I said, we finally got legs. Um, they don't still, they don't work as great as they should, but again, they'll probably be better, in the next year or two. Um, but like we've just been talking, that whole immersive feeling that you get when you put the headset on, if you have not experienced it and you think that looking or basing something off of looking at a 2D screen is the way to go, it's not. You got to put the headset on and get the experience of being in here and talking to somebody from London that's actually like in London. And then all of a sudden they tell you they got to go to sleep because it's 5 o'clock in the morning there. And you're like, wait, what? And you're
Yeah.
like, oh, you
Yeah.
really are in London. Like it's crazy. Like there's, like I said, it's wild. Like I've met a lot of people over the years that I've been in here. One of my first friends in here being Barry Barry Nice from Canada, like way up in Canada.
There he is.
Oh yeah, there's the man, the myth, the legend here himself. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's wild. Like I said, he is from Canada, and again, I never would have met Barry if I hadn't had the headset and he hadn't had one, and we ran into each other in here. And like I said, we've known each other for what 5 years now, so it's kind of wild.
Yeah. That's awesome.
You know,
So, is there anything that you think you want to share before, I have this platform. I'd love to open it up for you. I mean, even if it's not related to anything that we've been talking about, but something you wanted to say to close out our show.
nothing crazy. Just again, I always try and give advice to people as much as I can when it comes to again one of these scenarios, but. Keep building. Don't get discouraged. Again, there's been a lot of changes in here. There's been a lot of changes um, with the way everything has been working over the last couple of months. Again, don't get discouraged. Focus or refocus. If you did get discouraged there for a minute, refocus yourself. Go learn some new things, and again, push yourself back to where you felt like you were before. I know I got there for a minute. It was one of those scenarios, like I said, where new things are handed to you, some things you feel like are taken away from you, and you've got to kind of like restart a little bit again. So, again, don't get discouraged though, just restart,
Okay,
and
so grit, perseverance. It's worked for Pistolas 2029. Thank you so much for coming on my show today.
thank you for
Everybody,
having me,
make
man.
sure you sign up. I'm gonna post it in my Instagram and all the other grams, whatever they are, that you can sign, and I'll post the link in there, and then people can sign up for the Horizon
Yep.
Choice Awards in 2025 this fall. All right.
Yep.
All right,
Fantastic.
Pistolas. Thanks a lot,
Appreciate you
bud.
having me, man. Thank you.
All right. Oh, you know what? Let's do a selfie real quick.
Yeah.
Braden, you want? Oh, yeah, you getting in here?
As we become one.
You want to get in the pic? I'm streaming this, by the way. You don't have to get in the pic. I'm streaming from his point of view. All right. Cheese. Oh, hold on. Cheese. All right, there we go. Cool. All right, guys, thank you very much. And I'll be here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. in Meta Horizon Worlds at Eastern Time.